right, so we are going to get started. This is our first session. If you are joining for the video, welcome. Happy you're here. On Sundays, we'll be talking about meals and money leaks. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be talking about mindset about the meals. A lot of times people will be like, well, what is it that I'm supposed to eat? And I'm like, the 5 Ps, like literally just the 5 Ps over and over and over again. It doesn't really change. We kind of always think like, oh, I need this new thing. And it's no, you just need to repeat this thing over and over and for a really long time, like the rest of your life. If your end result that you want is weight loss, you have to this just has to be your lifestyle. And we're going to get into that because here's the thing is that it's our mindset, it's our thoughts and beliefs that prevent us from following through on that. But like healthy eating is pretty simple. We just complicate it. And so what we'll be doing on Wednesdays and Thursdays is making sure that our thoughts and beliefs are really lining up with the end result that we want so that we can follow through on these daily actions. Okay. So let's get in. So we're going to talk about mindset. So the first thing that we want to make sure we're doing is creating empowering beliefs that our ideal future self would have. A lot of people think, you know, when I get down to being a size, blah, 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 then I'll be confident in myself. Then I'll like myself. And what we find is that doesn't happen. I know so many people who have gotten to being in a smaller body and they still hate themselves because they were mean to themselves the whole journey. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you how to create empowering beliefs. This is really important because whatever you're saying to yourself in your head, whatever you believe about yourself, that is who you will be at the quote end of your journey. That is who you will be along the journey during the process. And that person that you're being, that's the person that is showing up every day. That person, those thoughts and beliefs dictate the actions that you actually take. So if you're saying really mean things to yourself, your actions are probably falling in line with that. If you believe that you can't do anything right, you're probably getting the results, the actions of someone who can't do anything right. Additionally, the more that you work on this, the more that you work on your thoughts and beliefs, the more that you do these daily actions, you start to create evidence for yourself. So when people talk about like manifestation, sometimes this stuff feels really woo-woo, but it's not. It is literally just, cool, I'm thinking about this thing, that thinking about it and getting excited about it and believing that like I'm worthy of this and I'm deserving of this, then we start to do those actions and we repeat it over and over, and that's how we get the end result. So there's nothing really woo-woo about it, but a lot of times we forget to do the daily action, that it has to kind of be like every single day, and it's coming from a place of being kind to ourselves. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to create these empowering beliefs, and I will use myself. So this is me probably from 5 years ago, about 20 pounds heavier. When I lost weight, I lost my chest. It's fun. Fun fact, we don't get to pick where fat goes away from on our body. But it's about 5 years ago. I was feeling really crappy about myself. I have always said mean things to myself, thinking that would motivate myself. I've always been my number one enemy, just the biggest jerk to myself. And when I started to figure things out with food, I was like, okay, cool, that's great. And I wanted to teach it to other people, but I still was lacking believing in myself. And I was working with a coach who had us at the beginning of working with her write down empowering beliefs. And I didn't really know why she had us doing this. I kind of felt a little silly about it. But now that I look back, I'm like, you know what? When I decided after Whole30 that I wanted to learn how to have some pizza without eating all the pizza, that is what I was journaling about. I was really journaling and focusing my mind and my thoughts and beliefs about being a person who can be a moderate eater. And so that's what we're going to do, is really focus our thoughts and our beliefs in alignment with who it is that we want to believe, who it is we want to be. So I'm going to read to you the empowering beliefs that I wrote back in the fall of 2017. I did not believe these things of myself. These were things that I wanted to believe. So 2.5 years ago, I do unexpected, amazing things. These are 10 of them. I help people. I didn't believe I was doing that. I was a nanny at the time. Like, this isn't, I am making a helpful dent on society. Let me just mute. Nope. I'm not sure who I can hear, but if you can click where it says mute. Okay, cool. Thank you. I am confident. Didn't believe that about myself. I can do great things when I commit. I am strong. I am influential. I can grow, learn, and get better. And I am a good person. I can and do change. So these are not things that I actually believed about myself, but these are things that I wanted to believe about myself. Okay. When I look at this list now, 2.5 years later, I'm like, yeah, like all of, like, I can't even believe when I look back at it, I'm like, I can't even believe that that's something that I had to take time to work on, but I did. I had to take a lot of time and practice this over and over and over again. So when I talk to people and they're really struggling in their relationship with food, I know that you've done all the diets. I know that you have tracked macros, you have tracked calories, you have cut out carbs, you have been afraid of fat, you have cut out, you've done all of these like actions with food. But when it comes back to this, what are your thoughts and beliefs about yourself? That's where people really struggle. They're like, well, I think I'm a failure. I think I can't do anything right. I think that I try something and I give up, right? Like those are the thoughts that you have. Those thoughts are going to fuel your actions, and you're going to be that person who tries something and gives up. You're going to be that person who goes from 0 to 100. You have that all or nothing mindset. That's going to be your reality. So if we want to change your results, what it is that you want in your life, the end results that you want, your relationship with food, with your body, it really starts with these thoughts and beliefs. So, oops, backwards. Okay, so what I want you to do right now, I'm just going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and you can come back to this, and you should come back to this, but I want you to write down 10 empowering beliefs about yourself. If you are someone that's working at a weight loss goal, that's totally fine. If you're someone that is like, no, I just want to heal my relationship with food, I don't want to be an emotional eater anymore. When you write your empowering beliefs, you don't write, I don't want to be an emotional eater, but you write something like, I am in charge of my feelings. I can be a person. So it's always written in the positive, right? Empowering. You're not tearing yourself down, you're building yourself up. So I'm going to stop talking. Give yourself 2 minutes to write down 10 things that you want to believe about yourself. I take about 20 more seconds. Okay. So we have our 10 empowering beliefs. Now, here's what I did with this after I wrote this up. You can see it's like all wrinkly. I wrote up this chart of what I wanted to believe about myself, and then I took it and I put it in a binder, and then nothing happened. It just sat there in the binder. We can't write out these visions that we want for ourselves, and they're like, oh, cool, maybe it would be nice if that happened. We actually have to work on it. Like, you have to work on this stuff every single day. And when I say every single day, I don't mean it's like punitive, like, oh, don't break the streak, but like, no, like like we talk about with food, like you have to do this stuff every day. This chart or this list is from 2.5 years ago. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to actually believe these things about yourself. But I know that if you bring this into your mind every single day, it's going to happen a lot faster. So one of the things that I started having clients do was journaling. I was like, cool, this is what's working for me. I need my clients to start doing this too. So last summer is when I started telling people, you need to journal. Like, you have to get this stuff out of your head and onto paper. Um, if you notice it's really hard for you to say kind things to yourself, you need to start practicing this on paper. I had a client this summer, Candace, who did my summer course, and she was like, that's nice, like that's cute, but I'm not going to do that journaling thing. She came back in the fall and she started the journaling thing, and she was like, wow, Jacqueline, I just thought this was kind of like woo woo stuff that you were talking about, but once I actually started doing this, I started to see my life was changing. I started to see myself doing these things, being kinder to myself. She's like, my anxiety was reduced because I knew when I went to bed that I was going to wake up in the morning and do this kind thing for myself first thing in the morning. It doesn't take a long time, but if you take this list of empowering beliefs and you put it in a binder and you close the binder and you never look at it again, these things are not going to become a reality for you. So the homework that you have is to use the 3-2-1 journaling method. If you did the course last fall, this is familiar, but you have to, we're going to talk about this a little bit more. So here is the 3-2-1 journaling method. Super simple, because I lose journals all the time. I cannot be trusted, one of my self-limiting beliefs, but like I'll forget stuff. But what I love about this is you can use this on any journal, any sheet of paper. If you forget your journal, use your journal, whatever. If you're in a hotel, you just use the pad of paper. You just write 3 and you write the number 3 I am statements. So it's again in the positive. So you are practicing these beliefs. If you wrote like, I am someone who can, coexist with sugar and not eat all of it, you're practicing, you're writing that down. I can go into the break room at work and not freak out. You're saying that over and over. I am a person who can do this. Then you're looking for evidence that you can support these things, and you're celebrating yourself. You're like, wow, I went to my parents' house and they had pasta and I didn't eat all of the pasta. Maybe I am a person who can be around carbs. I can be around processed food and not eat all of it. This is the big part. You have to look for evidence to start supporting this. Yes, I know that you are going to mess up a crap ton, and your brain's gonna focus on those things, and you're gonna like, but look, Jacqueline, look, I messed up. I want you to focus on what is going right in your life. If you focus on what is going right, you're going to get more of that. So you're gonna write 2 things that support this, and then you're gonna write 1 pattern, 1 thing that you want to work on. Okay, shoot, like this keeps happening. Every time it's a Friday night, I do kind of go off on a bender. Then here's where you're writing a pattern that you want to work on. This isn't your time to beat yourself up though. This is your time to like, cool, that's the thing that I want to work on. How long does this take? It takes me about 6 minutes. This is not something, I'm not journaling for 30 minutes. This is fast. This is something that you want. So with our habits, we want them to be easy and things that we can replicate and duplicate and just repeat over and over. That's why when it comes to the 5 Ps, that's easy. You can go on vacation and eat the 5 Ps. Good luck going on vacation and trying to count macros. Good luck going on vacation and trying to stuff food into little colorful Tupperware. That's not going to work. The 3-2-1 journaling and the 5 Ps are things that you can do everywhere. So we did I told you my empowering beliefs. We wrote them together. You do. Here's your homework is I want you to start journaling this. And then if you're resistant to journaling, I want you to actually use the little chart, the 365 chart, and get into the habit of marking that off. Like, so it's like you journal and then mark it off and like give yourself the little gold star that you did it. And then the last part is when you're in the middle of a situation and you can choose an old action or a new one, ask yourself, what would my ideal for future self do? So like if these, I help people, I am confident, I am someone who can have sugar. When it's time, you're in the moment and you have the opportunity to eat all of the sugar or some of the sugar, you're going to use these empowering beliefs to help fuel yourself. You're like, okay, cool. What does that end result person do? What can I do now to change my actions? Because again, nothing really changes with food. It's about our implementation. It's about actually doing the things in the moment. Okay, cool. So that was our quick mini lesson. And now I'm going to move into